Pubco Studios in Oklahoma City. You're watching The Press Row. I'm Jenny Carlson here with Barry Trammell, and we're brought to you by Papa John's Pizza. You can go online and check out their pizza deals for those nights when you're in watching football or baseball. But Barry, let's talk some football right now. I know the World Series is going on, but there's big football games going on, so we pick 'em's all football this week. Barry, let's go with some NFL action this week. San Diego is at Denver. That's the Thursday night game. That's that 7:25 kick time. Who you got winning this one?
Well, I mean, I've got Denver. I think they're the better team. San Diego, I like a lot. Chargers are 5-2, two tight losses to good teams. So the Chargers have a ball team, but Peyton Manning's on fire. The Broncos are good. I think they're better than last year when they won the AFC. And they're in the Mile High City. I'll take the Broncos.
Yeah, I'm going Broncos in this one as well. And yeah, I mean, you can't ignore what Peyton Manning is doing, continuing to throw touchdown passes by the bunches, broke that NFL all-time record last week. He'll continue to add to it. But the thing that I like about Denver, I think they're better defensively this year than they were a year ago. And obviously, you got to have a defense that is at least trending towards solid. And maybe you don't have to be as spectacular as Seattle was a year ago defensively, but you better be pretty good. I think Denver's better defensively this year than they were a year ago. Hey, Barry, what about the Monday night game? This feels like a little Thanksgiving-y. Washington's at Dallas on that Monday night game, 7:30 on Monday. Who you got in this one?
Well, Colt McCoy is quarterbacking for the Redskins. I'd forgotten Colt was even in Washington, third-string quarterback for the Redskins, and Robert Griffin's hurt, and then Kirk Cousins is ineffective on Sunday. In comes Colt McCoy, plays pretty well. He's starting Sunday in Dallas, so his home state. And with all that going for the Redskins, I'm taking the Cowboys big because the Redskins stink, and Dallas is on a roll. DeMarco Murray can't be stopped. That offensive line is great. Romo's got all kinds of weapons, including the best player on the field last Sunday, Des Bryant.
Yeah, I'm going with the Cowboys in this one as well because, yeah, even though Colt McCoy was good, the Redskins won against, they won against the Titans. Let's be honest. And that is not the Cowboys. For whatever reason, the Cowboys have become the story of this NFL season on the field. There's been a lot of off-the-field stuff, but clearly the on-field story is the resurgence of the Cowboys. Everybody wondering if they could get to 8 wins this year. They may get to 8 wins first week in November. I think these guys are really good. I think they're just going to keep on rolling. All right, Barry, let's go to the college game. How about this Big 12 game? Texas is at K-State. That's that early Saturday morning kick, 11 o'clock. Who wins in Manhattan?
Well, I think Kansas State does. Texas is a funky team. Played Oklahoma very tight and then got played very tight at home against Iowa State. So the Horns played great defense against OU, then terrible defense against Iowa State. The constant, though, Tyrone Swoops has been playing pretty good and turning into a solid quarterback for Texas. But let me tell you, Jake Waters long ago turned into a solid quarterback for Kansas State. Wildcats, I think, stay unbeaten in the Big 12.
So these are two teams we're picking who had narrow wins against Iowa State. Who would have thought?
The Clones are an unstoppable force.
Not unbeatable, though. I'm taking K-State in this one. I didn't think K-State's resume was that fantastic when they showed up in Norman a week ago. I thought they were a good team, but really their best game was a loss to that point. They hadn't really beat a good, solid team. Well, they did that in Norman a week ago, and they did it the way that K-State's done it a lot of years under Bill Snyder. They didn't turn the ball over, not even once. They didn't get penalized a bunch. They didn't beat themselves. And I think against Texas, that will be, again, to their benefit. K-State, that's the hallmark under Bill Snyder. You don't beat yourself. K-State doesn't. And by the way, they're pretty good this year. That makes them a pretty good team out there. All right, Barry, what about the Saturday night game in the SEC? Ole Miss at LSU, 2 ranked teams here. Can Ole Miss keep the winning streak going?
Well, this is a fascinating game because of history. We go back to 1959 and the ghost of Billy Cannon, the great punt return, maybe the most famous punt return in college football this side of Johnny Rodgers. Billy Cannon beats Ole Miss on Halloween night in 1959, and now Ole Miss comes in with another great team, maybe their best team since that era of 50 years ago, and LSU's the underdog. Ole Miss playing great. LSU's been a little bit sideswiped, but let me tell you, this is going to be a good game. LSU's playing better. Saturday night in Baton Rouge is legendary. Ole Miss has the great defense, but LSU has a little bit of momentum. I'm going to take the Rebels in a tight game.
Ooh, yeah. I'm taking Ole Miss in this one as well, but I tell you, a couple weeks ago, I was on the fence about Ole Miss. I wasn't in the believer camp yet, but they just keep winning. This is going to be tough, but when you're in that SEC West division, you're going to have to win some games on the road that are tough. I think Ole Miss gets the job done, but what a fantastic game. 6:15 on Saturday night. I know a lot of people will be watching that one. All right, Barry, what about the in-state game with OU off? This is all we got this week. West Virginia at OSU. This is a good one, though. 2:30 on Saturday. Who you taking?
Well, don't look now, but West Virginia could win the Big 12. They got 2 home games left, but they're against the teams ahead of them. Kansas State, TCU. The Mountaineers could put themselves in great position with a win in Stillwater on Saturday. Their other road games are Iowa State and Texas. West Virginia could win out. If they win out, they're the Big 12 champs. So it's a huge game for West Virginia, a huge game for OSU as well, trying to get bowl eligible. Cowboys are 5-2, but a lot of somber moods around Stillwater on how poorly this team has played in recent weeks. I think West Virginia is clearly established as the better team. I think the Mountaineers will win.
Yeah, I'm going to pick West Virginia in this one as well. And I think there are ways that Oklahoma State can exploit West Virginia. West Virginia's defense is not as good as TCU's was a week ago when OSU's string of 20-plus points games fell by the wayside. They didn't even get to double digits. They didn't even score a touchdown. Clearly, this offense is struggling. But I don't think West Virginia is quite as stout as TCU, but you still got the issues of offensive line, still got the issues of how does that affect Dax Garman. Now there's rumblings that Mason Rudolph might start. Frankly, I don't think that changing quarterbacks is going to make that much difference unless Mason Rudolph can play left tackle maybe. West Virginia is a good team, a solid team. Kevin White, he's in the not only the Blitnikoff discussion, but the Heisman discussion. He's going to be a handful for that secondary of OSU. I like West Virginia in a good game Saturday afternoon. Hey, be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoma.